Giddy up. Right on. Okay. Beautiful people and ugly not people, I must say.
Especially the not people. We can't.
Especially the not people. Because there's controversy about around the not people. And with the topic that we're talking about today, it's kind of spicy online. With the Rings of Power having been released on Amazon, is it?
Yes. Oh yeah. We have 3 episodes right now.
Yeah, I've seen 2, but I don't care about the spoilers, because I'm still shitty with the lore. I don't know if I can hear you guys properly.
Okay.
Boost that.
Well, so you're not really into the lore, right? You're like a newbie here?
I'm a noob.
Okay.
I'm a noob.
We've read like some Silmarillion, but years ago, and we've just recently started to refresh our Tolkien knowledge on, some of the channels on YouTube. So still, we're not experts, we're not Tolkienists or
we're
anything
not
like
Stephen
that.
Colbert.
Yeah, nothing like that. But we are all fans of the Lord of the Rings, at least the Peter Jackson movies.
Yes,
that's for sure.
And we are, besides being fans of J.R.R. Tolkien and fantasy, we are Kille, Yazon, and Jabba. So today we're talking about the Rings of Power.
Pierogeeks.
And we are the Pierogeeks, yes.
That's us.
After a fortnight hiatus, we're back. It's only been 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're getting regular.
Yeah, holy fuck. It's been over 30 seconds, I can swear.
Excellent. Okay.
We know all the tricks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, eat me, algorithm. Anyway, the Rings of Power. So much controversy, so much hype, but I guess counter-hype.
Yeah.
Right?
People are crazy about it. You cannot say it any other way.
Yeah, people have opinions, and they're not weak, those opinions.
Oh, yeah, everybody's either loving it or hating it.
Everybody's opinions lift.
So, what?
Yeah.
Everybody's opinions are lifting.
Yeah.
Nobody's weak.
Yeah. All right, guys. So everybody loving it or hating it? You guys on which side of the thing you are?
I am in the middle. I don't love it. I most certainly do not hate it. I have my problems with it. It didn't blow my mind, but yes. But I think it has potential, especially if they're planning 5 seasons. It still can turn around, but I already see cracks in this image. That's for sure. There are problems here, and people are weird about their opinions about that show. Like, it seems that everybody is either, right, like we said, loving or hating it, especially hate. Like, hate, I always thought that it's a personal emotion, reserved for someone who burned down your house and killed your family. That's someone worth hating. But a fucking TV show, like, come on, man.
People
leave that for something else.
Yeah, just like, as if...
Speak for yourself. The controversial elf burned down my house. You kill my father, my mother, my brother, and my neighbor. I kill you now.
All right, filler man. What's your opinion on the fucking thing?
That's the same thing. I'll be honest. When I started watching it, I wanted to hate it. I was like, yes, I'm ready to hate it. I was there. I was the worst kind of hater. I was like, and I wanted to hate it. I wanted to have this juicy moments of, that sucks, this sucks. But nothing really hit me that way. It's like, I'm neither hating it, I'm not loving it. I'm like, it's not enough to hate. It's not enough to hate for fun hate. It's not that.
Yeah, no.
And it's not like fun, oh my god, I'm loving it. There are moments that are good, moments that suck.
Campy and cheesy, there are moments like that.
It's like, what? That's my only question is this. This is where the billion went? That's
I mean,
it's 200 million per season. As it turns out, it's 5 seasons ordered already, which I learned like 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
And this is crazy for me because The Boys are the best TV show out there right now, and they have to fight for every goddamn season.
R-rated.
Come on. Fine, okay.
Yeah,
that's true.
But maybe, let's start maybe with the good things about the show.
Let's.
Right. So there are times in which I can see that $1 billion. For example, I love the dwarves in this series, especially Khazad-dûm, you know, the Moria before it became Moria, actually. The Dwarven city looks amazing. It looks exactly how I was imagining it when I saw Moria in the original Lord of the Rings, when it was all, you know, destroyed. There was no one there. This is like the height of this city, and it looks great. It looks really good.
Yes.
So yeah, that I really liked. And, well, you know, the actors are, for example, the main character, Galadriel. I love her. I mean, the casting is on point. She looks like Long Galadriel. That's a good point.
Unlike
okay?
some other elves, but we'll get to that.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's true. Okay.
You what?
We'll get to that. I'll
We'll get to
on that.
the other elves, but
Okay,
surprising.
Okay, to the other elves.
Yeah,
I have opinions.
the series didn't like hook me yet, like with a big hook, like Game of Thrones. There are little hooks, like for example the mystery man who fell from the sky.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting. I want to know who that is. I just hope it's
That's
not
Tolkien.
Gandalf.
If it's Gandalf, it's
No,
gonna be
it's
like,
gonna suck if it's
Oh,
Gandalf.
no,
Please
it's
no.
oh,
Okay, come up with something more interesting. There's this Halbrand guy also. There are theories out there. Maybe it's Sauron. Maybe I don't know. Hopefully,
Dollar
What
Store Aragorn.
What Halpert guy? That's
the
not,
guy
it's
who
the wrong series.
saved Galadriel from
The handsome sailor guy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's-
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Discount Aragorn. That's all I'm gonna say.
So okay,
Discount
so
Aragorn.
you think that the guy who fell from the sky
Yeah.
on the Harfoot Irish
Yes.
territory,
Mhm.
it's the same guy that helped Galadriel from the water.
No.
No.
Those are two different people.
No.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, why? What is this? Two timelines or what?
No. The guy who falls from the
No,
sky
luckily
is one guy,
Yeah.
mystery man. Who knows who that is? Hope not
Fuck,
Gandalf.
he has powers
And-
though.
Yeah.
Let's hope so, 'cause-
he's not some rando Joe. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, look, no random Joe can fall from the sky like a meteor and be like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just a regular Tuesday.
Yeah, you're getting more of the mic because you're shouting.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just gonna, you know.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, shout away. What
Yeah,
your
well,
opinions.
what else is good? I like, the Dwarven city. I mean, not really a fan of this whole Harfoot thingy. I mean, it's interesting to see like the ancestors of the hobbits that they lived differently. Like, you know, I like the hobbits because despite that, you know, that they're hobbits, but their living conditions are actually pretty elegant. Like these, you know, these burrows they live in, they're very like, you know, clean, pristine.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, there's still a hobbit village. You can go inside. It looks really cool. On the other hand, we have the Harfoots, and they live like, you know, in empty tree stumps or something like that. Not really that
Yeah, they're-
attractive.
Yeah, they're nomads, eh?
Yes, they are nomads.
Nomads,
laddie.
eh?
Savages.
But I
barely even hobbits.
no, I buy them as ancestors of hobbits. That's cool. And I like the beginning. You know, some might say that the series starts with a giant exposition dump, but you know
Yeah, it
Peter
does.
Jackson trilogy also starts with an exposition dump.
A great
mean, it's-
exposition dump.
yeah.
This one is not great.
No, I liked it. I like the Morgoth stuff. You know, the showing of the first age. I just wish so much that we could have the series about the first age, because so much
That would
cool
be cool.
stuff is happening there. We could have a scene with Morgoth, like the big bad guy who's Sauron is a little bitch next to him. There's a scene in which he's captured by a giant spider god, and then a bunch of Balrogs is fighting the spider. Now that would be something I would love to see,
yeah.
but we're not gonna get that. It's
be
it's
amazing.
rights.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. There were problems with rights, for Amazon. So, okay,
Plus,
I
they
have to
wouldn't
live
do
with
justice.
it.
They wouldn't do
I
it justice.
probably not,
No.
but we would just have to accept that. Nothing we can do about that.
Yeah.
So we have the second age, and the second age is pretty uneventful when compared to the first one or the third one, which actually maybe gives the writers a bit more, leeway when it comes to their own creativity. But that's the problem, I
If
guess.
they have
People
some.
don't want, like cool, like new stories out of the
Yeah.
hat in this
It's,
world.
it's
Everybody
not Star
wants,
Wars.
yeah, exactly. Everybody wants Tolkien stuff. This is important stuff for people. By the way, people are kind of forgetting that when Two Towers came out, there was also a big shout out that it's shit, that it's like against the Tolkien lore. There were voices like that.
Why?
It's not- it
Because
was not-
because the meat was on the menu.
no, because
How would they know menus?
well, Legolas was skateboarding on a shield. That was
oh
kind
yeah,
of lame.
yeah,
and,
that was so
ants
lame.
were also different when compared to the book. That they made like an impulse decision to help, while in the books they were it was a very well thought out decision. But those were like
I mean, they had a
minor-
debate.
they had a debate, but they didn't make a. They made a decision not to interfere, and they changed their mind when they saw that Saruman just fucked up the forest.
Yeah.
And that was a difference when it comes to the book. So
Okay.
yeah.
But here I agree, and also I do see, and I also absolutely love the books, and I do believe that the books are better than even what Peter Jackson made. But with Peter Jackson, I saw the changes and I understand why he made them, and I even some of the changes I don't like. Well, there was one change that I can like. I'm not gonna go into details because that's a long story. But like the one change that I can say that I both like and don't like, as an example, is like, for example, from the first movie, where they put Arwen. The Arwen saves Frodo instead of Glorfindel, by the way, cool name.
Oh,
on one side, yeah, I would like to see Glorfindel because he's this amazing, epic, larger than life character.
We already have Legolas for that.
No, but it's a different kind. Like I said, Legolas is more of a badass. This guy is more like a, I don't know, just like a paragon of virtue. So I miss,
Superman.
Yeah, like a super elf, exactly, like a Superman elf. So I was kind of sad I didn't see it. But on the other hand, like Arwen in the books is like super boring. So it's kind of cool that she got something. There's a give and take, right? So it's not as the books, but I appreciate that. I would just and it's a cool change. I like the Arwen change.
We didn't have Tom Bombadil.
Again, considering he's a mystery in the books, I'm happy we didn't see him. I like that he's only in the books, and that's only. I'm okay with that.
Let's come back to the series, though.
Yes.
Yeah, but to kind of, that was like an example. Like you can make changes, and it can be good because it makes the story like that you see better.
Yeah.
Here they're making changes, and I'm like, okay, I get that you have to change some stuff because the second age, as you said, it's like there are like. There's events and then there's peace, and then there's events and there's peace. So it would be kind of boring in the show. So I get that they're condensing it, but they're condensing it and they're fucking it up, especially episode 3, which you haven't seen yet.
I haven't.
The Numenor stuff,
there's
which
a
you will
problem
see.
with that.
And then it's like, okay, this has changed. I'm okay with changes, but this is
There's
like,
a problem
why?
with what they do.
Numenor.
Numenor.
Okay.
Yeah, those are supposed to be the best people like ever, like proto-humans, something between an elf and a human who live really long and they're like 8 feet tall. That's in the lore, and here we just have regular people.
It's a perfect example, and no offense to people from this country. It's just like for the sake of naming, it's like you're expecting ancient Rome, and you get like Romania. That's what you get. Like, I'm expecting Rome. Oh my God, this is larger than life. These people are amazing, and this is like a slightly more. Like artistic King's Landing. Like,
so it's a Wish.com King's Landing.
Yes,
something like that. Yeah, I mean,
there's more of that coming.
Remember when we first saw Minas Tirith? It was not only beautiful, but you were like, oh man, this is fantasy. This is something I will never see in real life. While here you see Numenor, it looks nice, it looks great, but you can go to Croatia or Italy and you'll see something like that at the coast.
It's like it makes no sense visually. Like like Gondor and Minas Tirith, they're supposed to be like these distant descendants, like the shadow of Numenor.
Exactly.
Just like these are the last remnants of man.
Of all
and they
glory.
build Minas Tirith despite that they're just these little last remnants, and that's it. And then you see Numenor like, these people are not more advanced. They're like, what is this? Like, they have. I'm sorry, they have statues.
Are we still talking about the stuff that we liked?
No, we came it's a fluid transition from the stuff we like.
It's a segue. It's called a segue.
It's like in the show. Like there's moments that you like the dwarves, and then it suddenly changes into something you don't like, and then something. Oh, this is okay, but
okay. And the orcs. Orcs are cool as well. The characterization is great. I like the stuff, for example, that they had to use snake skin to cover from the sun.
That was cool.
That's cool. I like that. But orcs.
That's an episode 3 thing, eh? Oh, great. Okay.
It's
all right. So I'm gonna throw 5 cents on my own.
Sure.
Because I mean, as a noob, I also wanted it to be shit. I've heard from nerds that it goes away from the lore, and I'm like, I'm okay with bending things, but if it's too far, it's too far. So far, I don't think it's too far. But then again, there's come on. I mean, you guys told me it's $1 billion, and the production value doesn't show. I gotta say, and 200 million per season. That's a fucking big movie. That's a blockbuster right there.
Yes.
So I mean, inflation.
2
and all that.
Batwomen. Over 2 Batwomen. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh my God.
And so, guys, I mean, what do we see? We with the wish.com, I haven't seen this Numenor, the city, and I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I have seen Elrond and discount. I mean, it's Elrond is discount Patrick Harris, yeah, Neil
a
Patrick
bit,
Harris.
but I like but he's acting in a fun way. If you listen to him, he actually has like Hugo Weaving's mannerisms. He talks in a similar way. I really
Does
appreciate
he?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
I guess I'm
Distant
taking.
Lands.
Maybe so. But I guess I'm taken away, by his leprechaun face.
He looks.
That's a
It's
problem.
an elvish leprechaun.
And
this
actually,
guy.
on that note, just very quickly, because that's gonna connect to the controversy, because
Yeah,
everybody's
the
talking
elves.
about the black elves. Like, okay, like, I'll tell you what. The fact that there was only one elf who happens to be black for now, so far, that's a little weird. But I'm like, until they explain it, until we see more of the show, I'm not gonna say about it. What bothers me much more than the black elf is some of the technically the perfect ones. The white elves look kind of weird. Some of the elves
Technically.
just don't. What I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is that look, in Lord of the Rings, when you saw the elves, and every single elf you see, every single actor cast for those roles, you see like they're like these super handsome dudes. They're like
Yeah,
more
they have
perfect.
the glow
Yes.
and everything.
It's like they're larger than life.
shimmer.
They're like timeless, ageless, and they all look different, but they all have this quality. Like they're all like models and stuff, and they're supposed to look
Yes.
this way. Here, it's like, for example, the Aronir, the black elf guy, actually looks this way. He looks like a timeless
Yeah, this
guy.
is a
Yeah.
chiseled
skin
guy.
color
I
is
mean.
weird.
It's a good casting.
Yes,
for sure.
yes. The skin color is a little weird because we're not used to it, but again, they might explain that. That's actually fine. But some of the other elves, like the guy from
Skifo.
Celebrimbor.
Celebrimbor, for example, or
Yeah,
the
this
guy
guy-
from Galadriel's company, he doesn't look like an elf. That's just a dude. Like, I'm more of an elf than he is. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
He's a
Give me
dude
pointy
with-
ears and there you go.
And I mean,
And they look old. Some of them look like old people. Like, come on, these are elves. They're not old. They're not supposed
They
to look like old.
One of the elves looks like, oh, that's like looks like the AT guy from my previous job. Like, what the fuck? That's supposed to be like you see an elf and you see an elf. This is like a guy with pointy ears. They're dudes with pointy ears. The commander guy from the Watch, like, okay, he's almost there, but he looks really old. Like,
well,
dude,
the guy with the black long hair.
yeah, again,
The one that sent them to the thing, to the
yes,
gate, yeah?
yes,
That's discount Kyle MacLachlan from
yes.
yeah.
Or the friend, Arondir's friend from the village, the guy who was telling you, oh, you're doing like, it was like when they were walking to the village, there was this guy. He looks a little, like, I don't want to judge people because, again, this is not like normal scale, but on the scale of elves compared to Peter Jackson, that guy looked kind of fat. You look fat for an elf. Like, bro, where did you get these cheeks, bro? Like, I'm sorry. Look, I don't want to judge
It's
people.
okay because they're made up.
Look, I'm
people.
fat too, but I'm fat too. I get it, but I'm not cast as an elf in Lord of the Rings. I don't gotta be like.
Although you did say that you would be a better elf than they are.
Well, I mean, like if these are the elves you're doing, honestly, some of them face-wise, I look better like.
Hey
the
yo,
elf.
give me a personal trainer. I'm gonna be a fucking
There you go.
chiseled bitch, eh?
And I'm just like surprised. Like that's honestly the black elf doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that some of the rest of the elves like just don't look like elves. But on the other hand, just so that I'm not all negative, Galadriel, like physically, she looks exactly
Yes.
like she
Looks
actually
perfect.
is a perfect casting. She looks like an elf. You can tell. Oh, she's timeless and ageless.
I want to get back to the race controversy, but in a second, I just want to point out that with all that glory and shimmer and gleam that elves are supposed to give out, the transition, the ship with the transition, that was so goddamn cheesy. Where did all the other elves that were taking their stuff off? Where did they go with all the stuff? And why did they leave only the blade and only that blade? And and it looks so cheesy. I mean, come on, it looks like I'm walking into a fucking church and they're like, oh, we have all the answers. Or they don't.
It could have worked, but it's like it. Look, I kind
It
of
looks
saw
like
what they
on
were going for.
PS2. It looks like from PS2.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. I mean, I see what they were going for, and I could actually get that this kind of this very like churchy, very like
Yeah, but give them like a 7 times bigger boat.
No,
you
no,
know?
absolutely. Like I said, it could have worked, but they just didn't do it well. And to me, what really bothered me in the scene is like Galadriel just jumps off in the
that
middle
was the
of
most-
a fucking ocean.
That was
like,
the most stupid thing ever, and she didn't even have a plan because she barely survived that the guy Halbrand saved her. So it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna jump out and I know how to get back to Middle-earth, which, by the way, it's not just a stone's throw away. It was really, really far away. She was in the middle of the ocean. She just jumps away. You know, and this is so stupid.
With all the worms.
This could have been avoided. I get it. You want to show that she's a badass, so wouldn't...
That she has unfinished business.
Yes, so wouldn't it be better if she would just say no to the king, like straight to his face? That's more badass than jumping out of a boat in the middle of the ocean.
Besides, throughout the episode, she's been against transitioning.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I'll tell you what, it's like that's stupid and reckless just for anyone on anyone's scale. When she just jumps off the boat, just changes her mind, jumps off the boat.
Elf, no elf. Come on.
For a 2,000-year-old, like this wise person who's been through all these wars and experienced this, all these years, like really, that's how you behave? Just gonna jump off the boat just like that? That's just...
Maybe they just wanted to show the scene, which looked really great. The scene when they were entering Valinor. That was really cool, and the boat was like, going there, and the mist was like moving. That was cool, but you could have showed it in a different context.
For me, the mist and all that looked like Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
No.
I mean,
let's not go to Camelot.
Yes, exactly that scene.
Look,
thank you very much.
To me, it's like this. I wanted to see it like this grand way, but I kind of agree with a little bit with Jab, but that some of the effects look very like I wanted to like it, but it just feels so. I don't know.
It's like
I don't want to say
corporate-y,
but it's not. It feels like not an artist made this, but like a craftsman. You know what I mean? Like it's not an art. This isn't art. This is craft. It looks okay. It looks okay, but it doesn't like get you. It's like Lord of the Rings is supposed to get you, and this.
Another thing that we need to bitch about is Galadriel was said that she's casted perfectly, but when it comes to her character, she reminds me, of someone who, when remember in school when the whole class was running away, she would be that one girl who stayed, and wouldn't run away with the rest of the class.
You didn't give us homework.
Exactly. Yeah. I think she's like unlikable, like extremely. I mean, the Galadriel in the Lord of the Rings was maybe not likable, but at least she was like someone you would fear, respect, like graceful, to be revered.
Wise.
Here wise, beyond belief. She is
here she's 20.
Yeah, and she's like a warrior, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, elves live so long that I bet they have different phases in their life, like a warrior phase. I bet that Galadriel also had a chill phase in her life, in which she was just smoking weed and hobbiting and doesn't care about anything. She's just chilling. Hey, I lived for fucking thousands of years. I don't have to.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe she had a phase like that as well. That's a warrior phase of Galadriel. That's cool, but she's
it's called the phase is called. Kolfelvj.
Yeah, okay, but I don't know. She just seems like so unlikable, like a stuck-up, and the way that she defeated the troll. I get it that you want to show her as a badass, no problem, but she does that like she was killing a mosquito, like.
And which is also kind of
stupid. You cannot really emphasize with someone who's not afraid of a fucking 20-story monstrosity.
I mean, it was kind of stupid also because it's like, okay, like they fight the troll and it's this kind of difficult battle. Elves are dying left and right, and she just kind of walks up to it or like jumps up to it. She's dead. Like, wait a minute, why'd you do that from the get-go and saved all these lives?
I don't think she knew before. Like, she didn't, get the memo.
It just felt like off that on one moment the troll just kills these elite elves. They're supposed to be like commandos, just kills them right, and then suddenly she shows up. Is that like? I mean, either you're way too competent for your or your team is way too incompetent compared to you.
You have noobs on your team, man.
Exactly. She has either noobs in her team. It's kind of like in Thor. Thor the first and the second one. He had his little helpers, right? These nameless guys that just died in Ragnarok. Like when
Warriors
you said it, that Thor was like a 90 level guy in an MMORPG, and his friends were like level 2 guys.
Yes, kind of like that. Yeah, so either way, it's a leadership failure because either you had your party cast very badly, or everyone else is just a failure.
Yeah, and she's obsessive,
and
that's cool. I can understand that.
However, about her quest, with tracing Sauron and whatnot, I really felt like the heft of the dark magic, and like you hear the words, the whispers, you see the seal. And it gives her flashbacks, and it's all the heat. It's quick flashes, but it's super trippy, and it gives off so much power.
So
and the kid who sees, what is it, a sigil?
Oh yeah, the sword of Morgul.
Okay, it's the sword of Morgul. He looks at it, it gets a little bit brighter, and it's just goes with it gets windy in his face. It's like, oh, I'm like, yes, this works.
Maybe the show is gonna do justice for evil and for dwarves. Maybe this is just gonna be just
maybe that's the thing.
Because that's what I always liked about Tolkien.
I mean, we had hobbits and elves.
That it has magic, but it's very often very subtle magic. It's not like D&D, which again I also love, like magic missile. But there's a place for that, and there's a place for more subtle.
lightning bolt.
Yes, exactly. Like here, I'm happy that Gandalf's not just running around being like, "Oh, orcs, fireball, lightning bolt."
Yeah.
No, he has to be like more crafty. I like that it's like that, and the show does that. I agree with you that. That stuff with Sauron and the fact that he's evil and there's magic and there's this influence, but it's not like he's just gonna come down from the sky and just, like I said, blast you.
Yeah,
it's more like he's gonna manipulate. He's gonna turn you, take away your hope.
A very devilish Sauron.
This very like allegorical kind of stuff. I love that. And as long as
the
they
power
do that,
of word, right?
Exactly.
I mean, the power of word is really tangible in this series because. I mean, you get the mystery guy from the sky. He has 2 words, I guess. I can't remember them now.
Oh yeah, it was in a different language.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not Gandalf.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
No,
it makes
I mean,
no sense.
I have questions because how did Gandalf show up in the lore?
1,000 years later.
1,000 years later, yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
Comes in a ship
What from?
Valinor.
from Valinor. Just comes around. Just like, hey, I'm here on a mission. There you go.
Like,
he's a spirit.
like an elf?
Because he's an angel. Remember, Gandalf, all the wizards are angels.
Okay.
Amazingly powerful beings that you only see them as old men because that's the form they choose to take. But they are essentially angels. They're not like wizards. They're like agents of the gods, basically.
Yes. But then Sauron is the devil.
also
He's the same level. He's the same level, but he is evil, and as just like with the dark side, it's an easier. And
that's why Gandalf was afraid to touch the ring, because he knows he's as powerful as Sauron, and if he would take it.
Through me, this ring would take power far too great to imagine. And I'm never late.
I'm getting into this lore, with all this.
It is. I mean,
check out some channels,
for
bro.
all the bad things that we can say about this.
I want to watch it.
Yeah,
but there are stuff you can't watch.
Fine.
And it's like, and I have to tell you, even though I used to know the lore, now that I kind of jump back into it, it's like, man, it feels like I'm preparing for a history test. It's so complex, all these families, this is.
Yeah, I know.
The son.
But look at this. Even though the show is not perfect, it made us go back to Tolkien's lore, and that's a good thing.
I'll give you that.
I think that more people will get.
Not
into
me,
it.
not yet.
Oh, okay.
But if I find the time,
Yeah.
If I find the chus.
Exactly. So that's the good thing about the show, even though it could have been, of course, better. And when it comes to my personal opinion, I think the cardinal sin of the show, at least the last episode, a cardinal sin of every story, in fact, is, it was boring, at least for me. The 3rd episode was boring. I get it, it's just the beginning. They're like introducing us to different characters, but it doesn't grip me.
I mean, yeah,
it should have gripped me now more. Episode 3, for sure.
2 sentences. First, I haven't seen the episode yet. But if you're gonna, you have already 5 seasons planned out, you can't just plan out the series. You have to plan out the seasons to have a build-up and a resolution as well. I mean, you can't get people hooked, for the 4th or 5th season if your first 3, 4, 5 episodes aren't hooking. Aren't drawing you in.
I think that somebody just fucked up. They should dial down, because I love it. Normally I'm all about it, but dial down the world building and dial up the plot. That's how I feel.
Yes.
I love the world building. I love being in this world. And the first 2 episodes, I'm like, okay, I'm slow burn. Okay, we're kind of taking our time.
Yeah,
watching
first
this
2
stuff.
episodes,
Cool. I'm
no
okay.
problem.
I'm on board with it. But by episode 3, I'm like, okay, world building is great. But although, as I said, it doesn't work for me with Numenor, which you will experience later. But it's like, okay, maybe let's just. Can we get going? We got a limited number of episodes here.
We have also
please?
some well-known characters. Episode 3, we have Isildur and his father. which also is kind of lore equivarish
Look,
here, but
I just like with Peter Jackson, I am open and accepting that they will have to change the plot because the original is just too epic, too crazy.
yes, okay, that's true.
I
it
get that
doesn't
they
have to
condense
be
it.
100% lore accurate. It doesn't. At
But
least
there is
for
a
me.
price for that. Just like with Jackson, he give and take. You're changing it, but you're making it more awesome. So if you're changing it now, make it awesome. If it's not gonna be awesome, like, then why you fucked it up? Like if you're not gonna make
What's
it
the
awesome,
point?
if you're not gonna make it awesome through the changes, then just make it. If it's gonna be boring anyway, give me the original. Let me just get bored and say, well, that's the original. Fine. Or
Well said.
but to be perfectly honest, people say, well, it's impossible to do these second age things justice. They said the same thing about Lord of the Rings. It's not that it's impossible. It's very difficult to do it creatively.
They said the same thing about Dune.
Exactly. If
Oh,
you're
yes.
creative enough, you can make it
And
work.
about breaking
All
through
of it.
Earth's atmosphere. Yeah, that was also supposed to be impossible.
Ah, okay.
So no, but as I said, it's not that it's possible. It's just you got to be creative. I can totally, honestly, I know that you have to make these changes, but sometimes I feel, you know what? Maybe if they found a really creative director, writer, they could make the original story in a show because it's not a movie, it's a show. You got the time.
Yeah.
You could make it work. It's just that they just don't know how.
Yeah,
I
well-
feel like just they don't know. They have the world, they have the budget, but they're like, what do we do with this thing? Okay, let's just do like habits, migrating.
yeah,
you know?
and
Yeah.
doing
the
here?
love
What are
story.
we
The
doing here?
love story is so stiff and shitty.
Is there a love
get-
story
Yeah,
there?
there is between the elf Arondir and
The herbalist
human
lady.
and the herbalist. Yeah,
But
that's
I'm not surprised you missed it because I was like, oh yeah, they're supposed to be like in love.
Who?
yeah the Arondir.
The black elf guy and the lady that has a son that finds the
Oh,
blade
yeah,
later.
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I see that you missed it because I was like,
It,
oh wait, they're
I
supposed
thought
to have a
at
romance.
first that this is Baron and Luthien, the couple
please.
that Aragorn was talking about in the movies, but these are different. They're fictional guys, so whatever. Do what you want. You want to make a love story, make it interesting at least. This is not
Yeah.
interesting. This is
No.
Look, I mean, this is as far away
it's-
from Baron and Luthien as you can get. This is
No, this is just looking like as if she's just looking for a father for her child because she's lonely. Like,
yeah, exactly.
She's a lonely 40-year-old, and and the guy is like, oh, I'm a soldier. Oh yeah, I now remember. He was like, oh, there's one person I'm gonna miss because we're leaving here. Ah
Tropes.
man, already forgot about it.
It's very tropey. And once
Come
you see
on.
Dollar Star Aragorn and you start connecting the dots, oh, wait a minute. His plot is, oh. Once you get those points, it's like, oh, shit, this is like cheap Aragorn.
Hey, but we came back with to the Black Elf. I just want to mention that the show offended me. Yes.
with
Not
the black
with-
elf.
No, not with anyone black. Not with anyone being black. But with two little beards on the dwarven
Oh
women.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't understand
know,
why didn't they do it?
I also don't get
I
it.
don't get it.
is she a princess?
Yes,
Yes.
she's the wife of
Okay.
Dorin.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, she
I know
was
he's
great.
a prince, but I don't know how monarchies work.
I liked her, but I don't get the beard thing as well.
I mean, she has a patch over here,
yeah.
like she's 14. She's a 14-year-old boy. Come on, and she doesn't even have one matching on the other side, I guess.
It's like, I mean, I just don't understand. It's like, on one side...
Give them beards like in Jackson. Come on.
I don't understand. It's like if you're trying to make the show more diverse, which, okay, great. Diversity is always great. Like, trying to be like, okay, now we're going to have black elves. Everybody, like, the race is going to be all over. Fine, cool. We're being more progressive. I accept it. As long as you make it work in the story, that's fine by me. Let's do it. But then, so you're being progressive, but then in the actual lore that you're trying to kind of bring in, it's actually said that dwarven women have beards, which again, this is a controversial topic, but with the transsexual stuff and order, and we're trying to be tolerant towards that. Why not give us like the lore literally says dwarven women have beards? Show us women with beards. Let's normalize
Yeah.
that shit. No, they're not gonna do that. No, we're gonna do
Yeah.
one side of the political stuff we're gonna do, but the other stuff we're not. Because honestly, I'll tell you what, it would look weird, but that's what I want to see.
Well, that's exactly-
fantasy.
it's
I
a
want to
fan-
see
yeah.
bearded women because that's where else are you gonna see that? That's kind
In
of
Jackson
interesting.
movies.
Exactly, and it's to me, it's like, so you're gonna do this, but you're not gonna do that. That's just weird.
Yeah,
Why not?
it's weird.
What are you afraid of? What you're gonna be afraid that people are gonna hate it because dwarven women have beards? Then if people hate it, we say, well, that's like it's in the books. That's,
Yeah.
blame the books.
Yeah. Blame
I don't get it.
Blame the dead guy. What I wanted to say also about something, but I forgot about it.
Lord of the Rings, right? The Rings of Power.
Yes. What? Who? Who are you guys? No, it's the 10th episode of Pierogeeks, guys. I don't know if you know.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the previous one wasn't number 8; it was number 9. So you know. Yay!
Woo!
Episode-versary, I guess.
Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank
And
you for
yeah,
watching
we
it,
have
guys.
7 subscribers now. You know.
We do?
Yeah.
That's a lucky number, guys.
Yeah, and 3 of them are us.
We're blowing up.
We
Very
finally
slowly.
made something out of ourselves. It took us long enough, guys, but we finally did it.
Yeah, so you know, all the other 4 people get on the Patreon train.
We're blowing up in slow motion. We're still only
It's
a
a
match.
slow burn, like
Yeah.
Rings of Power. Yeah.
Killa is the YouTube guy, so he's supposed to you know, paste in the Patreon link. So he doesn't even know.
I know. I'm busy. Sorry.
Nah, it's
TBD.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, tell us maybe what do you think about the Rings of Power? I mean, when I think about it, because the show is controversial, but when you like watch it, is it real? I didn't even really see anything that controversial so far. When you
Nah.
think about it, for me, the fact that I was bored is controversial.
Ooh.
In the Lord of the Rings movie, Rings of Power, you know.
I mean, weren't the books like, you know, super hard to read and thus boring?
Silmarillion, yes, it is hard to read. And Lord of the Rings, I gotta be honest, not my favorite book. I like them, but you know the
Ton of
dialogues,
descriptions.
the dialogues were a bit wooden in it, but you know.
To me, it's like Lord of the Rings is a special kind of book. I also agree that it's not my favorite book ever. It's not like the thing I love reading, but it's the only analogy that I have from life, from my from like distant past in my life, but it's like the Bible. You know, like obviously, if you're religious, you're technically supposed to read the Bible. Like it's not a fun book. It's just it's supposed to give you something. And to me, this is like the case with Tolkien and fantasy in the sense that it's a great and awesome book, but you don't read it for fun. It's this kind of experience. It's this deep, like very complex. It's like, again, it's not a light read, especially Silmarillion. This is like you read it like it's like a holy book of the myths.
Yes, it is.
So what do you want to say? That the Bible is code, is bare code, and then Lord of the Rings is user interface.
Something like that. Yes, in the sense that it's Lord of the Rings is this kind of, you feel like it's higher. It evokes a higher feeling.
Nobody swears.
So it's not supposed to.
Game
It's
of
not supposed to
Thrones.
be
Yeah,
like
they don't have sex.
like it's not supposed to be the same kind of fun that you have like with Marvel or something. It's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm accepting that it might be a little slow. It might be a little boring at times. But not like this. Like the Rings of Power, it's like when you watch Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson's movie, there are also slower parts where they just mostly talk or there is exposition, but you're into it. Like the Council of Elrond is all just exposition.
But by the way, another
But it
thing
works.
that we need to criticize, I mean, what's one of the greatest things about Peter Jackson's trilogy? The music.
This is a very big disappointment.
And here, I mean, come on, where's our version of the Shire, or also the intro for the show? I was expecting to see Prince of Persia: Sands of Time when it came out. I don't like the intro, but you know that. I don't. And the music, I mean, Bear McCreary is doing this. This guy's a genius, and Howard Shore for the intro, and none of them are doing
Not
their
their
best
best work.
Not their best
Like
work.
if you've
I'm
ever
afraid.
played God of War, that's Bear McCreary. If you've ever watched Battlestar Galactica, amazing soundtrack. Just
Bear
mind blowing.
McCreary.
This is like when I saw that it was him, I was like, man, this bro, I love you, but this is not your best work. Like I barely hear the music. It's not that I hate it. It's just I barely hear it.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah,
And that's
there
like
you go.
it's the
There-
first Bear McCreary soundtrack when I'm like, oh shit, he made that. Like I didn't hear him at all. Like I usually hear his like elements of his. Like so here's like whatever. And the theme song, Howard Shore made this.
Yeah.
Like bro, come on, you must have been like really tired because it's like.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Guys, I know what I wanted to mention. It's the accents. I mean, you know, yes, inclusivity, you know, diversity, yes, all that. But then again, we have segregation of accents. Yeah, like we have the Harfoots being Irish. Then we have dwarves from Scotland.
Yes.
And we have, I mean, you know, like I've mentioned before, like 4 times already, I'm a noob in the lore, but it seems cool to me. Like, you know, Tolkien having been a British guy, he would have thought about his peoples in the books, you know, as parts of the Commonwealth, right? You know, the Irish over here, then you have the Scots. I suppose humans are just plebes, you know, in real life, and then you have the elves,
Man animals.
who live in Linden. I wonder what city would that be, you know, in real life. And you know, it's obviously it's kind of snobbish, you know, and what's the word?
Posh.
Posh, yeah, but titleist.
Stiff upper lip.
That's American thing, actually.
Really? No,
Yeah,
that's
British
the
don't-
American description of the British.
Yes, but the British don't use it. Anyway,
okay.
it's snobbish to assume that, you know, Londoners are elves, you know, and they're higher than anyone else, you know, and they live longer and blah blah blah. Yes, but you know, it makes sense for you know, for the time of the guy. Was it what, 1930s?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Well,
you know,
you got to think about the context of the, you know, author, the time that he lived in. But please, finally, give us some creatures in fantasy with Eastern European accent.
yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
Where are they? I want to
Where
hear,
are they?
a
Where
Rus-
the Asians?
or a
Where the
human,
Slavs?
Yeah, like a Polish accent, English.
Polish accent, no.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Come on, guys.
Clearly, the love of the halflings live has slowed your mind. Come on.
Yeah, so you know, if anything's racist in the show, it's the, you know, accent division, you know,
But
between,
wait,
between the races.
So what you're expecting me to because I'm just trying to understand. Are you
It's
saying,
woke,
are
but
you
it's racist.
Are you saying that? So the solution, like I'm just asking, is the solution to the problem that
I
we
don't see a problem.
But if there was like
Oh,
solution,
yeah,
it's
okay.
like so you see Arondir showing up and he's like, well, he's the black elf, so he's gonna be motherfucker. What the fuck are these orcs? Or you see the princess, the one, and he's all like, hey Elrond, you haven't forgotten that, and she's like, motherfucker, shut the hell up. He's a nice elf. I like him.
guest in my house.
He's a guest of mine.
No, that's racist. Come on, let's stop it. No.
Like I'm happy they didn't do that because
Yes.
they could have done that.
Yeah, that would have been stereotypical.
That would be a shitstorm for sure.
Or one of the
Especially,
orcs is like, "Hello."
especially that British black folk don't have that type of culture, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, they have their culture, but you know, it's not one to one with the American ghetto experience. So yeah, that bullet was dodged.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just,
Yes.
I just
I hope we
remembered,
did.
you know that Snoop Dogg was watching Game of Thrones, and one of the interviews, it was awesome that they
Yeah.
were talking about the latest episodes, and they were talking about the Unsullied, and Snoop was like, so the only black guys in the show, and they don't have dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, fuck, that's kind of true.
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
I mean, no one even paid attention because the writing was so good. To a
I know,
point.
no, okay, there was this Areo Hota guy from Dorne, and he
Yeah,
had...
Dorne had black people.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, we
At
think
least- okay.
we're not sure. He's never shown his dick, so we don't know.
Ah,
The
you're
big
talking about the
guard guy.
dick.
The big guard guy? Well, you don't know. Maybe he's also.
We're talking about the person. You're talking about the dick. Come on.
Just saying.
Come
you don't know.
on. Unsolid dick discussion.
Look, I mean,
Discussion.
if I'll tell you what. On that note, if you're black and you felt sad watching Game of Thrones, well, imagine what Asians must have felt. There was one. I recently watched Game of Thrones. There's literally in all of 8 seasons, the entire show, there was one Asian woman. One.
And it's the 2010s.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and she was a whore, eh?
No, she was a red priestess.
A whore.
Yes.
And she was only one time. It's like a side character who's just walking
Yeah.
through the
Well,
street,
whatever.
and she's like speaking. And I was like, oh my god, that's right. There are no Asians in this. I forgot. And it was like, man, nobody said anything. Like
Maybe
honestly,
they're-
if I was Asian, I'd be
Maybe
super pissed off.
maybe they're just like, we don't give a shit. We have our own movies, our culture. We don't care what you do.
Because you know the strange thing is that in Game of Thrones, there is actually in the lore there's Asian people, so they actually can be in the story. It makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. They just never did it. Why?
Yeah, okay, guys. Okay, we're drifting away from
Yeah,
from
yeah, sorry.
Rings
The
of
main
Power, and
Okay,
I don't know if
let's sum up.
Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have any conclusions, any final thoughts on the first 3 episodes? Some of us.
You
have
know,
only
the
seen
first 2 I would rate like 7 maybe out of 10. It was good.
2. That's a high. You know, I mean, we've given far less. You know, for far better things.
Really?
Have we? Haven't we?
No, I mean,
I mean,
I didn't
7
love
is
it
a
and
is the Batman territory.
really.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
that's
not
a
sure.
different thing.
Tell us
That's
in the
a-
comments. You know, you've seen our episodes.
That's,
We haven't.
you know, Lord of the Rings world. Okay. Overall, I think it's, well, The third episode was for sure like a 5, I think. Yeah. So overall, I would give it a 6, maybe so
Me as
far.
well. Me as
Yeah,
well.
a 6. It's
I'm
not
feeling
bad.
6.
It's not terrible. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it, and it can go either way. I'm a bit more worried after episode 3, but I still believe that this show can get better. But we'll see. We just have to wait and see.
We will compare it to the House of Wyvern.
Yeah, we
Yes.
will compare it to Game of Thrones House of Wyvern, for sure. So far, I think I enjoy the House of Wyvern more.
Me as well.
I've seen
More
it
might
engaging.
change.
The characters. There's just the characters are engaging.
But
I'm
you know,
lagging.
the question is, Game of Thrones is a totally different world. You have like adults acting like adults, swearing, having sex, and all that. In Lord of the Rings, you're not gonna get that. People don't fuck. People don't swear. Everybody is.
No, they don't fuck. They make love.
Oh yes, coitus.
It's all man.
Coitus.
Yes.
What's going on there?
Okay, so you agree? 6 out of 10.
Yes,
so
I would
far.
say 6 definitely. I feel exactly that. It's. I wanted to hate it. Didn't get anything to really hate, but I also don't have anything to love about it. So,
Yeah.
I kind of wish it wasn't made. I kind of wish it never had been made. I know it's a weird thing to say, but I kind of wish they never made it. They made something else, like an original, their own thing. It's like I just don't understand why do we need Lord of the Rings for this? Like if this was a new world, complete generic, free from all the comparisons to Jackson, whatever, I think I would have liked it a lot more. I think it would have been
Probably
a
yes.
lot better.
Probably so.
But because it's Tolkien, because it's like this weight on it, it's like you got to do it justice. If you're not, it's gonna be like, that's how I feel.
Okay. Just to make the joke, yeah, I'm gonna give it a third 6. The Satan number, Sauron. The same number that Iga Świątek won with on Saturday. It was. Anywho, I'm gonna give it a 6. It's not blowing my balls off, but it's not breaking my balls either. And I probably got a bit into peer pressure with wanting to hate it, but
No.
then you see the Elven scenes with Elrond and with discount Neil Patrick Harris and discount Cal MacLachlan, and yeah, I've seen comments online that it looks like an SNL sketch, and the fuck it does.
In some
It
scenes,
does.
yes.
It's
It
just
does.
like an SNL sketch. The wigs are so bad. Come
Yeah,
on.
we just need Jack Black, and then we're set. Yeah.
Yes. Actually.
And he's also an elf, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he would have. Yeah, definitely. He would have made a great dwarf, though.
Yeah.
Jack.
Oh yeah. Now yes.
True,
For sure.
absolutely.
All right, I think that's it for
Yes.
today.
Well.
On that bombshell,
Episode 10. Yeah,
episode 10,
We're lifting off definitely.
All
Thank
the-
you for that
pump-
7th person.
pump it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whoever
come
you
on.
are, let us know who you are, and we're gonna do something.
Yes, we were give you a shout out. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wife. All that.
Tell your grandma.
Tell your grandma.
And watch the. We'll see where this Rings of Powah thing will get us.
Yes.
It can go
Coming
either way.
coming
I'm
up
afraid.
in future episodes, we got
She-Hulk. We're
we
gonna
had-
talk about it after it's finished.
Yeah,
because
We've done what? 3 episodes? 2
I
episodes?
think so too.
2 or 3
something like that.
episodes in the previous
It's
episode.
not blowing
of
our
ours.
mind, but we also don't
It's
hate
so
it.
meh.
Don't jizz your pants.
So
just
far.
now. Yes, but then we're waiting. I mean, it's gonna be 9 episodes,
Oh yeah. Oh no.
so it's not
Of She-Hulk?
6. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
9 episodes.
Really?
Yo.
Of all the shows to get 9 episodes,
Hey,
this
yo,
is the
you-
one?
Daredevil is getting 18,
Okay, fine.
but you still
Very
have to
well.
introduce Daredevil and Frogman.
Frogman. Really?
Yeah, there's gonna be Frogman.
You're gonna be there.
I'm gonna be there.
Mhm. Cool.
Yeah, watch me on She-Hulk with Jamila Jamil. Get it out. I wish.
And Tatiana
Exclusive.
Maslany. Yes.
And Tatiana Maślanka.
Just check your Tinder. Maybe you're gonna find her there.
Yeah.
Oh, but of course you're not gonna like her because she's wearing a business suit.
She's too much
Nobody would like that.
No,
for
okay,
sure.
let's not. Yeah, we're ending the episode, guys. Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, share. Thank you very much. Ring the bell, all that.
Ding or dong. And
Ding or dong, and whatnot. See you guys next time. A week or 2. I don't know. Who cares?